Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wannabes podcast. In case you're new here or you forgot, I'm your host, Morgan. That's my co host, Luke, and Dreaded. Thank you for joining.
What up, though?
So, tonight we have an interesting episode because of mixed feelings. But tonight we are. That is fine. That means it's going to be a fun episode. Whenever we have opposing opinions, it's always a fun one. But no, we are going to be screaming none other than Scream 7. And before we get into that, though, and we talk about all the stabbings, we're we're gonna discuss some entertainment news. So, gentlemen, anything before we dive into our news?
Podcast bitch.
How dare you?
I love how I also am not the biggest fan of this movie. Spoiler, and you're the one getting all the hate.
You know what? Fuck you. I'll cut you. Yeah, I got a bigger chat. Yeah, I like that.
I save all my comments for the review.
That is fair. Alrighty. Well, let's dive into our entertainment news. All right, starting first, guys. Real quick, we've talked about the live action One Piece here quite a bit. It's getting ready to air season 2 here next week on Tuesday on March 10th. So
who's excited?
Me.
All right.
Okay, anyway. As we really wanted but didn't get, we did not get Jamie Lee Curtis as Dr. Kureha, but there's another big A-list actor that is being rumored to be eyed for a role in the Netflix live action One Piece. And it is none other than the character of Kizaru, very big admiral of the Navy, of the Marines, which is basically the Navy. And the actor being eyed for this role reportedly is none other than Adam Sandler.
I can see it. It's fun. I can see it so hard. His energy with Kizaru's energy, that just fits.
I mean, I can see it just because the character kind of looks like him, but other than that, and it's not even like a thing about that Adam Sandler like couldn't do it or can't act, because he can act his ass off when he wants to.
It's a matter, does he want to?
If you haven't seen Uncut Gems, you are doing yourself a disservice. That is phenomenal.
That's a really good one.
But I just want this to happen just from the aspect of like, this is the dream that I've always had as a kid, since I wanted that perfect Dragon Ball movie to get made, where you actually get like A-list actors to be in this shit and give it legitimacy and be about it. Like that's really why we wanted Jamie Lee Curtis, because she's actually a fan.
So I think Jamie Lee Curtis would have done it, but she had scheduling issues with Freakier Friday.
She chose wrong.
That I don't really like, not because I don't like Freakier Friday. It was I actually kind of enjoyed it, but from the aspect of like you got to try and make that work. I mean, that helped. There's got to be a way. There has to be a way to make that work. You know what I mean? So I just
disagree, but
with all that being said, I want this to happen just so we can start getting the big names into shit like this, because that just helps everything. It really does.
It would. Now, if Adam Sandler is being eyed for Kizaru, I want to know who they're going to get for my boy Aokiji. That is what I'm waiting to see.
I just want them to get Eminem for
Emaru?
Yeah, for Emaru. That's literally designed off of him.
That is fantastic. No. That'd be kind of hilarious.
Eminem can act, yo. Marshall Mathers can fucking act.
Yeah. I know.
Make it happen.
Eminem is Anaru. I don't know about that, man.
That'd be great. It's supposed to be that way anyway. But no, in all seriousness, everything that I just said prior, I
don't hate it.
It's a rumor, so probably not. But man, if there's a universe where this happens, I want it to be this one.
I mean, you guys can look it up to see artwork that people have made of and depictions of Adam Sandler as Kizaru, and they look really good.
The character already looks like him.
To an
He's
extent,
got his
yeah.
energy. He
Yeah,
really
no,
does.
for sure,
It
for sure.
shouldn't be that hard to fan cast Adam Sandler's character. That character literally, like you see, I'm pretty sure it's in the thumbnail. It looks just like him.
Yeah.
Although I
If
will say, like, we
if
don't know what goes on with
it
Hollywood and its
fits,
scheduling, so shit.
he can act. There is, especially where I'm at, like dealing with like Egghead and everything, I would love to see that emotion from Adam because we don't really get that deep emotional sides of Adam and his acting. Though we just it's not like his usual role. I would love to see that, you know? So it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. But
We will see.
before I talk about One Piece Forever, Dreaded, what other news do you have for us?
All right. So I guess some happy lovey-dovey news. Tom Holland and Zendaya are now married.
Good for them.
I hope
Cool.
they get divorced.
Bro, that's so that's
I mean,
dark and mean.
Bro,
I
I don't listen. I think I just have beef with Tom Holland now, and I don't really know why. And I don't necessarily like Zendaya either. Oh, thank God. You froze for a second. I was like, please tell me I didn't lose internet. I don't know why. I've got beef with the two now. Well, not 100% Zendaya, but definitely with Tom Holland. I'm sick of that man. I'm sick of him. I don't want to see him in shit no more. Except for Spider-Man. Just finish that off and then go away. Shit.
I don't care.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it was
I only
actually
brought
there. I
Good for
know a
them.
little bit more because I reported on it. Well, I didn't report on it, but it was one of the stores reported on it at work. And yeah, they did it in secret, and it was actually her stylist that let it slip.
Nice work, stylist.
Good for them.
But I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I respect
It's-
it. They're a couple that's very much in the limelight and people very much watch. So I think it's actually a very sweet and respectable and kind of touching sight to like know that they went and did it in private. Like
Yeah, they're
they don't
young.
they don't want that whole limelight of like the marriage and everything else like out there. And I respect them wanting that you know, how do I want to put it? That privacy. So it's kind of
Well,
Yeah,
how I
no,
feel
good.
about it.
Hey, they're
Zen-
young, they're successful, and like you said, they're very very famous. So good luck, kids.
Zendaya Holland. What the hell was her last name before? Zendaya Marie Stormer Coleman? Okay.
Is that real?
Yes.
Zendaya. Well, that's why
Wow.
she only goes by Zendaya. She has a
Well, all
performer
right
name.
then. I'm still gonna hate. That's why I wanted to bring it up, just to hate. It was funny.
Bruh.
All right. So our next bit of news, actually. So last time we talked about Kristen Bell being Amy Rose and Sonic the Hedgehog 4. Well, we've got some new reportedly casting going on here. Ben Kingsley has reportedly joined the cast of Sonic the Hedgehog 4, and a lot of the fandom believe that he'll be voicing Metal Sonic. I ain't mad at it. I think it's okay.
Ben Kingsley is great in everything. He's in one of my all-time favorite movies, The Whackness. And if anybody hasn't seen that, highly recommend. Yeah, I'll watch anything Ben Kingsley does.
I do love me some Ben Kingsley, so I'm here for it.
So Ben Kingsley. So yeah, I'm about it. I'm definitely about it. I keep
Yeah.
getting excited to see what 4 is going to do with this story.
Metal Sonic, though, interesting.
Yeah, why not? I mean, maybe give
Just
it
let me know when Jim Carrey's back on board.
We'll see.
Want to talk about that controversy right now? Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
No, not really.
I'm sorry, not
Oh.
controversy, conspiracy theory regarding
No.
Jim Carrey right now.
Although, you know what? Yeah, real quick, because it's a performer that put on like makeup, right, and did a whole prosthetic thing. Like,
no, it is actually him. He genuinely looks like that now and went and accepted his reward. Sorry,
Oh.
award.
I don't know. I'd be just scouring the internet, but no, I don't want no fake Jim Carrey. I want actual Jim Carrey. So if he's like got surgery or whatever now, I mean, he looks the same. I mean, it is.
He looks the same. It looks like he just got a little filler. Like everybody needs to calm down. Like
Yeah.
I only
Well,
bring it
like-
up because I literally wrote the script for news for work, and literally he was there with his family and friends. He was in communication with the delegate, the general delegate of the award show in France. He was talking to him constantly. He was very touched to be invited was
Yeah, didn't he
working on
spend
his
months learning
French.
French?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he spent months learning, and he actually messaged the delegate constantly about, just wanting to check pronunciation so he could give his speech properly. He also like literally was there with his longtime publicist and
Man.
with Michel. Oh, what was Michel's last name? They did a bunch of
I,
movies together.
Hmm.
I guess I just kind of put this like, remember when The Weeknd had that face surgery too,
Yeah,
and all the
But that was
drug
fake.
shit.
I was gonna say The Weeknd's was fake, and The Weeknd's is also a lot more. Oh my god, I think people just need to chill. Like, let
Well, that's
the
what I'm
man,
saying. Like,
the man
it-
I
look
will.
happy as all can be in those photos. So like, just chill.
I will
Yeah.
say, as a Weekend stan, that whole thing was part of a narrative he was telling for his album After Hours. So that's what that was all
Yeah.
about.
nice. The more you know.
Yep. The more you know.
All right, that's all I got.
Alrighty then. All right. Little somber news, but still hopeful, at least on his part. So Bruce Campbell, our guy Ash versus the Evil Dead, has shared that he has been diagnosed with a treatable but incurable cancer. Unfortunately. So, not much going on. Not much I want to say there. Just I want to give a shout out to Bruce Campbell. I hope you stay strong. Keep that chainsaw in your hand. And he also has the quote here: "Fear not. I am a tough old son of a bitch, and I have great support. So I expect to be around for a while, and we do too. We hope you stay strong, and you will prevail."
I
That's
respect the mentality.
Yeah.
that's one of the filmmaking inspirations right there. You know, it's not too often, and there are our fair share of famous folks that have come from the state of Michigan that have been in entertainment. Sam Raimi, Rob Tapert, and Bruce Campbell have a very, very unique story of how they got there. So I mean that's something that I really, really think about a lot. And like, so Bruce Campbell's one of my heroes. So it does suck to hear that he's battling cancer. But yeah, he seems to be going at it with the right attitude and a lot of optimism. And I'm sure he's in a good spot in life to where he won't beat it, but he's not going to lose to it either. So that's good to know.
Booyah.
And with 2 Evil Dead movies coming, like now's not the time.
All right. Now to our final two things. So we have 2 trailers to discuss. Let's talk about the lame one first. So, literally about 6 hours ago, HBO Max dropped the first official teaser trailer for the show Lanterns.
Wow, that's the lame one.
Yep,
I didn't mind it.
Let me just say this right now. This is Venom all over again. Where the hell is anything Green Lantern related? I thought I was looking at a spin-off The Landman or some shit.
Let him know. Keep going.
I think you're just angsty tonight.
Am I though?
I mean, you are angsty tonight. This is true. But
I'm calling bullshit.
You're hating on a fucking happy couple's marriage?
Okay, see that one's just whatever. However, this one I'm just being completely
honest with
truthful.
you,
This was lame.
I didn't mind it. I appreciate it not being like a full brand new reboot. Here's full origin. No, we've already had one, and it's being like a handoff, kind of like a legacy bit. I don't mind that.
Do I think the show's going to be bad? No, I'm not going to say that, but I don't like the trailer. It's not really making me hyped to see it or watch it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I can give you that.
I do like Kyle Chandler. Kyle Chandler's cool. He's playing Hal Jordan, and definitely aged Hal Jordan. That's neat. Aaron Pire, and what do I know him in? I know him in something else.
Rebel Ridge on Netflix is the thing that I watch.
No, he was the voice of Mufasa in the Mufasa Link. Never mind.
Okay, so we have you need to watch Rebel Ridge. I guarantee you'll have a better time.
Probably, but I don't even know what the hell that is.
He's just hating on the live action.
I would hate on Mufasa as well, and I didn't even see it. I'm gonna hate on it.
There you go.
Stupid.
Also, fun fact: Nathan Fillion will be in the show as Guy Gardner again. So, I mean, in the Superman movie, there you go. Nice. He's showing up for this again.
Well, at least you know you're getting multiple lanterns, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it is. Go ahead.
I was like, it is called Lanterns after all. So, shoot.
They do make the comment about whether or not Hal talks to the other lanterns, and he talks about one of them's a fucking squirrel. So that's hilarious. Honestly, Kyle Chandler is the only thing in this trailer that I'm not convinced with. I like Aaron Pierre. I hope I'm saying his last name right.
Absolutely.
The story looks interesting enough based off what I've seen, and I'm hoping most of that is from just the first episode. I'm hoping. I need to see how many episodes there are, and then yeah, I'll reserve my judgment for the show when it comes out. But the only thing that I've seen that kind of has me thinking, is pretty much Kyle Chandler. I don't hate Kyle Chandler, but the
Why
last
is
couple
that?
things, what?
Like, why are you like unsure about Kyle?
I'm just not convinced. I don't know. From the limited knowledge that I have of Hal Jordan and Green Lantern, like that doesn't strike me as that.
Oh,
But
it's like his type of role, or
yeah,
like just the portrayal you saw in the trailer.
I guess both. Because
Okay,
like I
okay,
said, I don't hate Kyle Chandler, but the last couple things I saw him in, specifically
kind of mid.
the Rip, like I don't want to see him do anything action because it wasn't good in the Rip. I'm sorry.
Maybe he'll have better directing here.
Oh God, I hope so.
There you go.
More body doubles and more CGI, which they did give me a little bit of it when he flies away. I was like, all right, that doesn't look too bad, but they're not going to do the suit. He actually has one. It's in the trailer. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to watch it because I do like
I
some Green
would have
Lantern.
liked to have seen him wear it.
That is
So
the only thing that I have a question mark about based off the trailer. Would just be, what are we going to do with Hal Jordan?
I'm guessing Hal is most likely going to be the sensei to Jon Stewart, if anything.
Yeah, probably die.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm more of a fan of Jon Stewart than I am Hal Jordan. No
Facts.
disrespect
No,
towards
facts.
Hal, but still.
Facts.
So
I'm on board with Aaron as Jon Stewart. 100%.
But this show better bring it, otherwise, this is what you told Zack Snyder he couldn't put Green Lantern at the end of the Justice League for. This, I'm crash out. I'll crash out again. I'll do it.
And to help you out, like the fact that it's this TV MA where they're cussing and shit, like it feels Zack Snyder-ish anyway.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good point. The tone of this is very different from when James Gunn started off with Superman.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, a lot of things can be tonally indifferent, but at the same time, like,
it's an interesting choice.
Are we getting our quote unquote gritty dark DC back? I don't know. I'm gonna need another trailer. I need another look at the Green Lantern, and also we do have a synopsis for this, or should I say, a premise for it, which reads, and I quote: "Green Lanterns are intergalactic peacekeepers." Oh, wait, what the fuck did I say? Hold on. Green Lanterns are intergalactic peacekeepers. There you go, English, please. Who wear rings that give them extraordinary powers. The series what? Shut up, Anthony. The series follows experienced Lantern Hal Jordan and new recruit Jon Stewart as they investigate a murder in Nebraska, which leads them to darker mysteries and reckonings. Are we sure we're not watching Landman right now? I'm just saying.
Yeah. Listen, that's why I'm reserving all of the criticisms until it comes out with that one question mark. But I mean, the tone I'm on board with.
We do have, though, from Twitch chat, we have Tyler saying, "I'm just glad we get to see Jon Stewart. He was my first Green Lantern thanks to the Justice League cartoon."
Facts.
Me too.
Big facts. Classic. Undoubtedly the go to goats right there. Thank you.
What's next? Right. What do we got? We ready to move on?
Let's one last trailer, you guys, and it's part of the big reason why I was even okay with seeing Scream 7 in theaters, because it is the return of Scary Movie. We officially got the trailer for the all-new Woodsboro Scary Movie sequel. Yeah, there we go. And we've talked enough about it already. We know the returning cast, and it seems to be doing a play on the requel thing, where it's more of a sequel to the first one, parody-wise. I mean, ignoring the fact that 3 and 4 and 5 seem to happen. No mention of those characters. We have Scary Movie variation of Ghostface returning. I'm just going to say right now, I was so happy to see Shawn Wayans. I was so happy. He has the funniest line in this entire damn trailer. We get another look at all the films we're going to be making fun of. We've got, of course, Scream. We've got Halloween 2018 with fucking Anna Faris doing a hilarious Jamie Lee look going on there. We've got Sinners. I am seeing Get Out. I am seeing maybe Smile. We have Weapons as well. I was surprised to see that. And Terrifier.
also Megan, too. I don't know
Oh
if you
yeah,
know.
that too.
Real quick, just going back to Anna Faris's look, yeah, it's Jamie Lee Curtis, but like the house, I'm pretty sure that's Bloodlines.
That could be.
Oh,
I mean,
maybe.
it could be just an exaggerated variation of Laurie's compound from Halloween 2018.
That's what I got. I was
Eh,
like, that's fucking. But also everything else you guys said. Sorry.
Also Wednesday, with a character named Tuesday in the
Tuesday.
film. Dumb as hell. I'm super excited, and the Gen Zers are already mad.
Yeah, I made the comment when we talked about it last about just because you can make the joke doesn't mean you necessarily should, but like the trailer, like they know what they're doing, so I don't care. And the fact
Yeah.
that, and I don't believe the Gen Zers are actually upset. I think there's just some internet bullshit. But if they are upset, just watch the fucking movie and you'll be fine.
Or
I said let them do
don't
that.
watch it. If like it bothers you, just don't watch it. Like,
They'll watch it.
yeah, I know.
The bots will
But
be out in droves.
that way they can complain about it.
Yeah, I say
We might
let them
complain
do
about
that.
it. What if it's bad?
It could be.
It
Like,
could be.
gonna be honest, guys. I haven't, like I said last time, I haven't really seen many of them. Like, it wasn't
That's
ever
fair.
like my genre and my thing back then. So like, I'm going in basically what I have seen of it, like scary movie. Genuinely, I think I've maybe watched one or two of them, maybe, and that's a stretch all the way through. If not, I have seen enough clips where I know that like that movie or two.
If they pull it off, in my opinion, it'll be kind of exactly what we need. Because obviously spoofs are here for a reason, and there's enough material, especially with the horror genre and how very serious it kind of all is now. Like it's there to be made fun of. Now with the kind of humor that they're going to bring to it, which is something that we haven't seen since probably the early to mid 2000s,
Yeah.
that's probably going to be a little refreshing too, just because you don't see that anymore. So it's nice that they're going to come out and put something where you're just really not supposed to take it serious. Like that's the joke too. But somebody's gonna take it serious and well get the outrage. But it is what it is. And the only thing that I'm gonna judge it on is whether or not it makes me laugh. Everything that I saw in that trailer made me laugh. So if the rest of the movie is like that, then we're good to go.
Why just half gay?
That was the line that got me. That line
Yeah,
got me
that
good.
always. I'm so happy to see Ray again.
You
I
guys
will
didn't like the
say.
dildo fight? What are you doing?
I mean, yeah, but
The dildo
it's
fight,
like
the Republican comment?
I will say some of the humor is like, yeah, that's funny, but I don't know, something about that line is just what got me. That's
Okay.
the shit
Because
that
he
was
comes
getting
I'm
out
me.
of
right there with you,
nowhere.
Dreaded. I'm right there with you.
I was gonna say also, okay, I do have one fear about this film because the
What
director
is that?
is Michael Tides or Titties. Tidies?
I think it's Tids.
Tids. I like
I looked
titties
that
better.
up too. I thought that's what it was.
Yeah, so the director, look,
Look him up, everybody.
yeah, here's the thing. He has two movies under his belt that I did not really find that funny. He's worked with Marlon Wayans about many times now. Now he did the first A Haunted House, which I did think was funny. He also did A Haunted House 2. As a whole, I didn't think that was that funny. It had a couple funny moments, but still. He also did 50 Shades of Black, which I turned off in the middle of because I wasn't laughing. So that's that's a little fearful, but with the return of the entire cast and their chemistry and everything like that, and what they're making fun of, I'm like, all right. I still think this could still work, but I'm just we'll see. We will see.
Yeah, no, as long as this is under the umbrella and in the control of the Wayans, I think we'll be just fine.
Yep. There we go. I'm still laughing at that damn line. All right. Well, there's all the news I have. Let's talk about this damn movie now.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and dive into our movie review, everybody, of Scream 7. So,
Biggest opening in the franchise.
yeah. So, real quick, I do want to remind everybody that there are some controversies that surrounded this film. So, firstly, Melissa Barriers, I'm
Barrera.
probably, thank you. I was like, that is not right. She was actually fired back in November 2023 from the film's production due to her pro-Palestine comments. Calls to boycott the film began to circulate on social media because of that. There's additional things. A lawsuit was even filed in regards to this film. So ahead of the release, Paramount Pictures and Spyglass actually filed a lawsuit against Alteran Ghost Factory. Sorry, I believe it's Altarian, a Ghost Factory, who actually threatened to initiate litigation over rights to the Ghostface mask after claiming ownership of the mask, and they're like, "Yeah, no, bud, we're nixing that in the butt." Um, but
Happens a lot.
yeah,
That happens a lot.
yeah,
Nightmare on Elm Street went through this. Friday the 13th just got done going through this. Yeah, this happens quite a bit.
sadly,
That is
not a
unfortunate.
surprise. But just a little reminders of like any of the crazy stuff that was happening during filming, if you will, that the film was going through and the franchise was going through at the time.
Well, yeah, there
But
was a 6 or I'm sorry, there was a 7 that was all set up and ready to go with Barrera and Ortega and then the rest of the cast from 5 and 6.
correct.
And that was supposed to be the direction. And then they went and fired their star, which made the other one walk away, which made the directors walk away, which brought in a new director who got blamed for the firing. Wasn't his fault. And then he left. And then we get to Kevin Williamson. There you go. There's your abridged version in a nutshell.
Thank
I'm
you.
not gonna lie, that whole thing is what hurt my viewing of this too. I was not happy with that either. I really wasn't. I liked Melissa and Jenna's characters, aka Sam and Tara. I was a fan of what they were going with that. And respected Jenna Ortega for leaving the movie because Melissa was fired, actually. And Melissa, I hope you still continue to get work and you keep kicking ass out there.
Oh, yeah. She bounced right back with Abigail. And like, what a movie.
Oh gosh, she was in that movie. I forgot. So I will say this though, because I only learned this yesterday before I even saw the movie, because I was doing a little like diving into Scream and stuff to get ready for this episode and everything. I did find an interview with Melissa that actually lessened the blow, because I learned that she wasn't that mad about it at a point, because she was only contracted to do 2 films. She did 2 films, and if you really think about it too, how Scream 6 ended, her and Tara, they survived 2 of their ordeals, which was, I guess you can say, an arc of the first one, then the second one, which was Vengeance. They survived, they get on with their lives, and like, okay, like in that hindsight, they walk away from the franchise alive and as survivors who will heal and stick together for the future. So, and if she wasn't herself that mad about it at a point, because hey, I did the 2 films I was contracted to do. Like the third one, like was a possible maybe and stuff like that. Then, you know what? Maybe I won't hold it against it as much either. I mean, I'm still not necessarily happy, but I won't, like, I guess, hold on to it no more. So there's that. So I wanted to out there.
Any other bits, Morgan?
Sorry.
Any other bits?
Yeah, I just want to talk about the box office and such now. If you all are good with that.
We are
Wait,
good.
hold that thought. Hold that thought too, because one last thing about Melissa and Jenna as well. I don't know how true it was, but I think allegedly they were going to initially die in this film. So that also, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm happy they're not here, because I don't know if I would have been happy about that. I mean, it's a slasher. People are gonna get killed and stuff, but no.
Possibly Jenna, but everything that I've seen about it has been the natural progression was to end up with Sam being a killer, because that's where the whole thing was going. And whether or not that leads into an 8 where she goes after Sydney, I don't know. But the plan was to have her end up being a Ghostface by the end of this film.
Well, there was
Yeah.
also there basically an 8th film was reportedly also in development by like this film's release. Williamson and Campbell actually also expressed interest in making an 8th film, with both already working
Oh,
on
there's gonna
ideas
be an
for
8.
the movie. So it was definitely a possibility that we were going to get something like that.
There's definitely going to be an 8.
Yeah.
Especially after the what? That's for you. Box office.
Oh, sorry. I did not get that cue. Anyway.
Sorry, I pulled it out of nowhere.
All right, guys. So this was released on February 27th here in the United States. Did release on the 25th though at Paramount Pictures Lot. They did like a fancy little screening. But if we want to get into it real quick, budget for this film, just so you guys know how they're going to be breaking, was 45 million. So the 45 million budget definitely got paid back. So basically on February 5th of 2026, Deadline Hollywood reported that the film was on track for a mid 30 million domestic opening weekend, which would place it second behind Scream 6's 44.4 million domestic opening weekend. but by the week of its release, estimates were raised to 40 million. The film made 7.8 million from Thursday night previews, a franchise record, revising weekend estimates to 59 million. It opened to 63.6 million, topping topping Scream 6 as the largest for the franchise, though below Scream 2 and Scream 3 when adjusted for ticket price inflation. But
Sure.
as of March 2nd, 2026, Scream 7 has grossed 67 million in the United States and Canada and 33.1 in other territories for a worldwide total of currently $101 million. And again, that's from March 2nd.
Yeah, they make it an eighth.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
For sure.
God damn it.
All right, where do you guys want to start? Because
This movie's pointless.
You two are the haters.
This movie's fucking pointless.
Uh-huh.
This shit just happens for no goddamn reason. Why? Why are we here? Nave, why did you come back? Like, this is a combination of why did you say yes, and why don't y'all give this woman Sydney a break already? God damn it. That's it.
Money.
That's my start. That's my start.
Sure.
That's why she came back.
I'm
Nev
gonna
came
be-
back for that paycheck, baby.
I'm going to be honest real quick. I'm almost positive Dreaded disliked this movie more than I did. From how angsty you've been about it.
I have a damn sword on my desk. Okay, maybe I am angsty. Shit.
He's an angsty young man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn on my Breaking Benjamin, and you can't do anything about it.
I blame the schools.
It's not a phase, Dad.
Go ahead, Morgan.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This movie was just kind of mid for me. It's not the worst thing I've seen, but I actually liked like 5 and 6 better.
Okay.
Like
All right,
it's not my favorite of the most recent Screams.
Here's what I want you two to do. I just want you both to get it out. Everything that you didn't like, just get it out.
I didn't like our killers.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, because of the press that the movie has been getting and the reviews and whatnots, you may spoil.
Good.
Perfect.
I don't think I can do this review without some spoilers, actually.
I think honestly I would have just preferred Schumacher to be back than getting the killers we got. The next door neighbor and then the crazy like guy that I immediately clocked at the psych ward. Sorry, mental institution. I immediately clocked that motherfucker. I'm like, he's in on it.
Okay. So, I had a whole ass list of suspects because I was like, all right, which one of you mofos is the killer? And I guess, I wasn't necessarily wrong. Everybody, a lot of people who I thought might be was like, okay, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. Yeah, when that dude showed up, I was like, yeah, you're definitely on my shit list. And I kind of hope you're not because this is going to be stupid. And only when the Ghostface got into the coffee shop, knowing the code, I was like, oh, it's that one lady from earlier. I see.
I still don't understand why that lady would know the code, though.
I had a feeling, I don't know, maybe I don't know. The way
I guess moms could easily guess it, like, because, like, the safe was obviously,
No, you could clock it, you could headcanon it as they're really good friends. They're really good friends. So maybe one day Sid was like, hey, can you lock up my shop or can you fucking open for me? I'm busy. And that's how she could get the code. I can headcanon that. I can buy that.
You guys wouldn't have the code to my coffee shop unless you worked there, just saying.
Well,
you never know. Maybe you're in a pinch, man. You never know. You know, you got some good friends.
I just feel like a woman of like with Sydney and her background and a little bit of her mild paranoia, she wouldn't have done that.
Sure, but then you're just helping his point that the shit doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm in the middle ground.
Either way, I was thinking someone who might know, and it's like, it's got to be that one lady. Okay, so saying preferring Stu over this, here's my feeling toward that statement. One, yeah, this killer reveal was fucking stupid. I literally messaged you guys in the theater, the damn meme, the second it happened. I was like, I'm done here. Are you kidding me, bro? You mean to tell me that there are big killers this time around are two characters who both pretty much had one scene? This is Mickey all over again. It's all over again. And I ain't gonna even lie. As bad as this is, Mickey had a low-key better motive than these two. God damn. Like, why was the dude here? Why was the dude even here?
That's the whole point.
And don't even get me started on Next Door Neighbor. That was the weakest fucking motive. I think that is the weakest motive this entire series has had for being a killer.
No, I mean, I get it. Someone is like gets obsessed. Like you said, her son was a suspect for a little while because of his obsessiveness over true crime and all of that. Like, I can understand someone being obsessed, and there are people who get obsessed to a very freaky and uncomfy point with people. And I can't say that I can't say I don't get it, but I do agree that I feel like it could have been stronger. I think there could have been a better positioning or even just a better build up for it. Maybe like give us more time with those two characters to make it feel like even worse of a betrayal.
That would have been better. The fact that they only had one scene definitely hurts. If they were in it a little more, oh yeah, what's her face showed up again. Then sure, it would have hit better probably, but it doesn't. They only had two. One had two scenes. One had one scene. Here's your big killers. Here's your dumbass motivation. And also, here's another problem I have. And let's go to the beginning of the damn movie. What the fuck was the point of that whole opening kill scene? Who the fuck were those two? What purpose did they serve? They're not related to nobody as far as I'm concerned. And why even burn down Stu's house? Like, what was going on there? That made no narrative relevance to the film. It just happened. It literally just happened. And I was thinking to myself when I was on the way home, like, what? Why were we even there? I guess some setup moments about it was actually neat, but yeah, that was whack. The kills themselves were actually kind of whack. Although I did like Homeboy's eye kind of fucking up when he got stabbed in the head. That was a little neat touch though. But it's just so goddamn dumb. Why are you here? Why are we doing this?
It's an Airbnb, dude. Which is actually a thing.
I know it's a goddamn thing.
I was fine. I didn't have any issues with the beginning. And that there's
some great shots at the beginning.
Yeah, 100%. I will agree. I actually really enjoyed the beginning because I was like, this is gonna be great. I at first, okay, real quick, because everybody is sorry. Everybody's kind of like doing story points about the whatchamacallit, like AI and everything. I at first was like, are we gonna technologically advance this thing and that is a remote controlled like animatronic thing, like the little like moving tracking thing that like ends up he swaps out for and is like an actual murderer. But part of me was like, that'd be kind of, I don't want that, but it would also be kind of sick, like modernizing Scream in that way, and specifically at a location like that is meant to be for the Stab fans, like inside the world that is Scream. I have thought for a split second, I was like, don't tell me they're gonna like make this robot be the one that does the killing, but remote controlled.
Thank God they didn't go that direction. I'd be eating even more probably.
The robot Ghostface is killing everybody.
I just would have expected robot Ghostface would have just killed there at that specific, because it's set up to be like a fan like stay. But otherwise, I really liked the beginning, to be honest with you. I mean, there's plenty of like film set places I've gone and visited that's like meant for the fans and this and that. I get it. I've gone to places like that. It's
got one of 3 very funny kills in this movie. Like that's the first kill where I was like, that was fun. That was fucking hilarious.
Which one for you?
When the chick falls off the chandelier.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a good laugh out of that too.
I'm glad that was in the trailer because there was shit. It's shot. Ghostface is shot really well in this movie. All right, I'm taking over. You guys
No,
make
please
a
go
minute.
for it.
It's really great to see Nev come back. I understand the controversy that happened with the last one, and if they could have made it work with Melissa and Jenna, this probably doesn't even happen. But you can definitely tell that this is the scramble plan with this movie. This isn't what they wanted to do. This is what they had to do. So why is Nev back? Because they pulled up the dump truck to her doorstep and said, please come back. That's why there's a line in the movie where she says, past my prime, fuck you. Because that's what they told her when they didn't bring her for 6, because they didn't want to pay her. Now this time they had no choice. They came back groveling and got the queen to come back and fucking save the franchise. So automatically this movie gets points because Nev's in it and she's great.
Save!
I said, yeah, save. Otherwise, well, how are you gonna have a movie? What are you gonna do if Melissa and Jenna say no and then Nev says no? What are you gonna do with this franchise?
One of two things. You can just stop because there's no need for Stream 7. Why
well,
are we
that
this
wasn't
far?
gonna happen. That wasn't gonna happen because they promised you a 7 after 6 came out anyway. You were gonna get a 7 regardless.
Or
this 7.
Maybe go anthology. Go the anthology route.
That's not how you get asses in the seats. Because if there's one thing that box office tells me, it's the fact that the nostalgia of this movie is why people went and saw it. Because Matthew Lillard came back.
I don't disagree.
Because Neve Campbell came back. That's why you got the highest grossing opening. So the setup of this movie is pretty much is or is not Stu Macher alive, right? And they play that pretty much straight until they don't. And that's why by the time the movie ends, nothing makes sense because they hinge everything on the fact that Stu Macher is back. Why would a Ghostface go and kill people in Stu Macher's house and light it on fire if it's not Stu Macher? Why would Stu Macher be video conferencing Sydney when he's doing stuff? Which, by the way, until they do the actual like green screen shit and actually is Matthew Lillard outside of spots, like the whole time when they were playing with the idea, I was like, I really hope Stu is alive because this is actually pretty badass. Stu, as an older person now, just doesn't give a fuck. So it totally makes sense that like he just goes, hey, I'm here and I'm gonna do shit. And then Ghostface does what he does. Everything in this movie hinges on that right there. Is Stu Macher actually alive? Personally, I think they fumbled the bag, but up until that point, I'm kind of invested because I genuinely want it to be that. The thing that the last couple movies have been trying to do from 4, 5, and 6 is be more brutal. You want to take Ghostface as more of a threat because in the prior ones, and by the time we get around to 6, he kind of goofy, right? He'd be tripping over his own feet, which is a staple. It's just a dude, right? But how do you sell that you're supposed to take this character seriously 6, 7 movies in and you know all the tropes? This is a good way to do it. Just have him be like, I'm here. I'm just here. What are you going to do about it?
They wasted their best kill early.
No, they did not. Their best kill is in the bar. They did not waste their best kill early. This whole thing still hinges on that premise. Is Stu alive? And they really go out of your way to convince you that he probably is, to just he's not. And I'm not a fan of. I don't like the AI. I don't like the weird fucking future or past killers with Dewey for some reason. I'm not a fan of that. But up until that point, the movie's pretty suspenseful and it makes sense when we've talked about it before, Anthony, with the Ghostface and when they reveal and they say that they killed this person and you're like, there's no fucking way that 90-pound little girl fucking killed that dude. Like it just doesn't make any sense. This has that too, but up until that point, if you think it's Stu Macher, everything fucking works. Everything. So I do enjoy all of that until a point. Ghostface, I think, is shot really well in this movie. There's a lot of suspense with these kills, even though the only ones that die in the movie are the new people. Like nobody that quote unquote matters dies, which is a bummer. I think 7 movies in, it's time for like Gil Weathers, who's got the shakes, to just go. You know what I mean? We're done here. But it was nice to see Courtney Cox come back.
I do think we get that by the end where she finally lets her intern do the reporting instead of her. I do think we're getting her. I don't think she will be there. I would be surprised if she's in 8.
But it was nice to see her come in. I'm gonna say it's pretty much a glorified cameo. I don't know what the Meeks twins are doing here. Honestly, every time they're on screen, it feels like a different movie. Like it's nice. I love those characters, but they belong in 5, 6, and the 7 that they were supposed to be in. They shouldn't be in this at all, in my opinion.
They were almost
Sydney's
like they almost like clicked too well with the age group that they were trying to like. They almost just felt like one of the kids in a weird way because of like
no,
the humor.
I didn't I didn't get that because they even go out of their way to be like, we're the old people now, right? They're actually
Sure,
surrounded by kids, and they even say
but
we're kind of out of place here.
some of the humor and like the little quips that were gone said back and forth in that tavern scene in the bar
That's just
scene
what they do.
specifically, like it was just there was a couple things where it took me away from like that feeling like okay they're really sitting here, like, though they are sitting there and trying to investigate it. It
I
there could
I
have been some more
enjoy them.
adjustment.
I enjoy them in here because they are
I don't dislike them though.
they're kind of they're us in a way. Like we're expecting all these things to happen. They're expecting all these things to happen, and then like none of it goes down like that. And they even have moments where they say like, well, who knows, right?
Mhm.
But normally that's their function is to be the ones that basically give the rules. They don't do that this time. Like they think it's going to go a certain way, and then it doesn't. So, but by the time the movie's over, they are completely useless.
They're just
Don't know
here.
why you were here. Enjoy the paycheck, I guess. But like, man,
Yes,
I wish they could have gotten their 7 for sure.
it's
They
a weak
need
it's a weak tie
they
to
need
5
Sam
and
and
6.
Tara. They absolutely need Sam and Tara if you're gonna have the Meeks twins. Um, Joe
Also, we're
McHale. Joe McHale plays Sydney's husband in this. He's a police officer. You forget that Joe McHale is like 6'4" until he's like standing next to people. It's like, holy fuck! Like, why couldn't you be a Ghostface? That's an intimidating dude right there. It
hold
was
on.
nice. Go ahead.
I want to time out real quick, going back to what the Meeks twins actually too, because why no mention of Sam and Tara at all?
They
Like,
do.
why not?
They mentioned New York a
That's all
lot,
they do. They mention New York. They don't mention what they're doing. Like, we
right?
get a mention of what Sydney's doing in 6. What? No mention of those two? I'm a little butthurt on that as well. I ain't gonna
So
lie.
here's something that I think if you haven't accepted, you need to accept. This movie is Kevin Williams' middle finger and probably Neve Campbell's middle finger to 6. Straight
Mm-hmm.
up. Like all the comments and how Sid should have been there but wasn't, and like the fuck you, I'm not past my prime stuff, and subverting all the subverting expectations. Like they do a double subvert by like the randomness of this movie, right? You're expecting it to play a certain way and it does until they just go, yeah, we're not going to do that. And that is the only thing that made me upset about the movie is by the ending they go, Stumacher's dead. Like that'd be stupid if he was alive. I'm like, that would not be stupid. That would have been sweet. What you're doing
No,
now is kind of stupid, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
no. I'm actually with. If Stu was alive this whole time, I actually would have been thinking that's dumb.
Well, it's an
What do you
idea
mean?
for 3. That's an idea that they had for 3 originally. Stu was going to be alive and in an insane asylum, and he's the one that's been puppeteering everybody the whole time.
If that was the case and they did it in 3, that's better because that's the 3rd film. But we're at 7 movies now. We're in 2026.
Yeah,
We saw
correct.
Stu die in 96. So like
So here's my
that
thing.
wasn't working for me. And hold on, because I've been holding on this one too.
All right.
Because I was not convinced at all Stu was alive. I was hardcore like, oh, they're doing an AI day, aren't they? Actually, too. Because the way I would have looked at it too, if it really was Stu, I really feel like only video calls would not have been the move, actually. I feel like there would have been some in-person shit. At least that's what I would have felt like. To make it more intense, more different, too, to let you know, oh, you know who I am, but we're going to do something different with this film, actually. The fact that it was only video calls.
They do that with the video calls.
Yeah, just I think there's a better way to do it. I really think there's a better way to do that
I don't
idea.
disagree. I don't disagree with that. But I mean,
I almost wish they would have done like obviously we have the video calls. I think those were a good way to set up bringing Stumacher back in, right? And then wondering and kind of like second guessing, is it him? Is it really him? Or someone doing a deep fake like they already were doing. Now, and then we get Ghostface, actually masked Ghostface going after Sydney's daughter because she doesn't know her mother's past to the full extent. Her mom clams up and doesn't talk about it, which that's part of like trauma processing. That makes a lot of sense. And not wanting to like push on your own irrational fears onto your children. But that being
That's
said,
also a little overused, though, Morgan. I didn't like that because in a situation like
you didn't
this,
let
and
me
especially
finish
when your
though.
daughter's like, "Yo, I want to know," you're going out of your way just to cause. I bring it up I'm sorry that cut you off, but I bring it up
You're
before.
good.
Like you're manufacturing the conflict when you're
No,
already
100%.
there. You
I
are
don't disagree
surviving
with
a
that.
serial killer, and just for reasons you're like, I'm just not going to tell you vital information that would probably save your life.
Not everybody can also open up easily, especially after trauma.
She wrote a book about the trauma.
Yeah, he's got a point there.
No, and that's fair. I'm not like there is issue. I think that could have been toned down a bit for sure. I'm not gonna disagree. That's one of my points. Is there was a little bit too much. Like your daughter's, she's at the stage of life where she's wondering. She's becoming an adult. So let's start teaching her some things and letting her know. She's at an age where you can start letting her know. Yeah, life ain't fucking sunshine and
Well,
roses, babe.
That is
But
also a massive continuity error too, because I think it's in 5. She's got the kid in the stroller, and maybe like the timeline for her daughter. What's her name? Tatum. For Tatum's
Tatum.
timeline, it doesn't make sense when she would have conceived this kid to be 17 at this point. It doesn't work on any level. So
but we also know
really
she has two other kids. It's at grandma's. It could have been one of them in the strollers.
But still, it
But
still
no,
doesn't
and
add up.
that's
Still
totally
doesn't
fair.
add up.
Totally fair. But the one thing I was getting at, I think it'd have been really interesting if because we have this point of like daughter doesn't know all of mom's backstory because mom can't open up. If we have daughter facing off against genuine masked Ghostface, but then mom gets little instances, glimpses like in real life, not just on the phone call, almost little standoffs and like little teasing action from a genuine real life Stu. Like I think there could have
Yeah.
been
That's
what I
wanted to be
wanted.
Stu.
That's what I wanted. As I wanted like because Stu's like I'm here. I wanted him to be like passes because Ghostface is good at the quick disappearance, right? Passes the coffee shop and she runs out looking for him, but no one's there. Like almost like this weird like mental game that he's playing with her, while meanwhile being the Ghostface, the masked Ghostface is what I was trying to say, going against his daughter or sorry her daughter. I think that could have been that would have been more like mental fuckery going on.
That'd have been way better.
That's the way the movie is going until they pull the deepfake shit. That's
Yes,
exactly what's
100%.
happening. You guys are saying how the movie is presenting
No, I know,
itself
but that's
the AI stuff.
but then the deepfake thing happens, and then he still could have been genuinely like I was seeing if it was possible and if it could be done, and to then that still could have been a thing where he was messing around with it, and it killed it even further by bringing in completely different killers and it not bringing in Stu at all.
I also want to say that
point.
the family dynamic between Sid Tatum and Mark, I think is Joe McHale's character name. I like them. I love it. I like their dynamic. I really enjoyed all of them on screen.
I think it makes a lot of sense for Sydney too to have a partner that can like hunker down and like be a protector as well. I think she would have needed that security. I love that combo.
That was nice to see. The only dumb thing was being in a safe room and then deciding to crawl through the wall. Just so I could get the scene from the raid, which in any instance is a pretty bomb ass scene. And this is another one, but like I've seen it. And why did you do that?
I do want to say that I think like just because like in general, y'all have been through like especially Sydney's been through this before. Maybe for the time being, we bring down the tarps that keep dust from flying around in the garage when when there's a killer on the loose out for your specific family. Maybe like you roll them up and like remove all of the obstacles, and then if you walk in and they were rolled up and were then released, be like, yeah, no, something happened here. Close the door, lock it up, call the police because he's a fucking police officer. The thing that drives me crazy. No, he's great. I cannot complain about Mark. I can complain about the rest of the police force because when it is curfew, how for somebody who used to lock up for places all the time, especially a small little like restaurant, if that alarm goes off, that alarm actually alerts your local police force. And when that alarm is going off and it is being alerted to the police force and they know their town is on curfew because there's a killer out there going after their police chief's wife and family, you wouldn't go and respond to that. And it's also, they made sure to point in that that's a small little town and that police force should have been able to get their stat. Like, I don't
They
know.
do.
I
They do show
that's
up.
just
Gale just gets there first.
sorry, say again.
I said they do show up. Gale just
Ah,
gets there first.
sure, but like there's nothing. There's Gale
You
doesn't
can't.
Gale doesn't even get there. Sydney stops running to get to her daughter. This is when he's chasing the daughter.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the house.
No, this is the actual alarm when they break when she shoves Ghostface into a like a boutique, if you will, and you hear the alarm going off. That alarm, like in real life, I had to close up and set the alarm for other like for establishments, and those alarms are meant to immediately alert the police force. So there should have been police out there like stat when
Morgan,
that
this
happened.
is the 7th Scream movie, and I
I
don't know if you know
know.
this, but the police are useless in every single one of them.
Yeah, but the problem for me is like we made sure to put an pretty important character as a police officer in this one that is literally the husband to
Yeah, so he
Sydney
could
Evans.
single-handedly punch a Ghostface in the fucking mouth. That's why.
And still somehow not truly be able to defeat him.
Right though. And
Come
honestly,
on!
listen. I love
I
Joe McHale. I love the
I
character. He should have died.
yeah.
I
He
don't.
should
Like
have died.
that was another
didn't
thing.
care.
Between when he got fucked up and to when the big reveal happens
Great
and he
scene.
cuts Tatum's like leg tape off when he's next to her, he should have been bled out by then. Like
Yeah, 100%.
bro should it'd have been like an hour. Bro should have been dead.
It's a good scene though.
It is a good scene.
Like I can't downplay enough that the actual Ghostface stuff in this movie is pretty good. I don't know. It's not as in my face as say 6. 6 was all about. I mean, 6 has the fucking whoosh sound. Like I'm glad there was no whoosh. But like he's not out here shooting people with shotguns. Not that I have a problem with that. I get it. Like I said, from 4, 5, and 6, every time they made one, it was like a more brutal Ghostface. He's gonna be nastier. He's gonna be more intense. Yada yada. And they did that. This one I enjoyed because they just kept it to the suspense of it. Is he there? Is he not? And when he is there, those are really great fucking phenomenal shots. They did the fucking Michael Myers one in the house where they just put the light on the fucking mask. Amazing shot. They do the one with the aforementioned shitty plastic that you should have taken down where he's just standing there. Phenomenal. There's the one in the fucking high school where he's just walking through the hall or in that costume room and then he's gone. Like there's really, really good Ghostface stuff in this movie.
I agree.
That's the only nice stuff I can say about this movie, for real. Those were pretty good scenes.
Yeah.
So that and the family dynamic are my favorite things about this movie. Everything
know
else
what,
that you guys, for the record, everything else that you guys are saying, I 100% agree. All right, you guys are not wrong. I have been half facetious with you guys. I do love this movie, but it's not because it's good. This movie is bad, but it's because it's bad that I liked it. And it nails the things that I wanted it to nail, which are the Ghostface and the kills, until the fucking mom, supposedly the mom, picks that kid up by his fucking head and puts him on
No, I don't think that was
bar
mom.
tap. That was, she says it's him. It's her.
I know, but I know, but like I'm like, girl, Pilates doesn't do that much for you.
But that's what I'm saying, is that this whole thing hinges, but that's what I'm saying, this whole thing hinges on whether or not Stu Macher's alive. And if he is, everything makes sense. But the fact that they go out of their way to say that he's not and do it in, as they even say, a dumb way, then you've kind of cheapened it a little bit. But I'm not gonna act like that the stuff leading up to that wasn't pretty fucking good. Like I was in.
Hold on, I got stuff to say real quick. Actually,
go for it.
Wait, let me make one case. Let me make one case first. Because the only one that I guessed as a killer, because I was my fingers were crossed until the very end when it was like, okay, it's not Stu. I was praying that it was going to be Stu while I was sitting in that theater. But the mom, I figured it was her. But where I was going with it was her son. It's very Stu Mockery. And she makes enough comments about an abusive baby daddy. So I was like, oh, so this is what happened to Stu after he got out of the hospital. He met somebody, he had a kid, and he probably went crazy again. He fucking poofed. She doesn't know where he is.
But she makes a point to say that she killed him and then realizes, oh, I can just kill you too to Sydney.
Well, yeah, at the end. But up until that point, I was like, okay, I can buy.
Oh, I see. Okay.
If Stu's the killer, that this is a family affair. And it's him and his baby mama and their fucking kid. I expected 3 killers. I expected to be them 3, though. I was 1 for 3.
All right, anyway. First things first, I just want to say, like you said, Morgan, Pilates wasn't going to prepare that. You have a point there, because if you remember in the movie Spiral from the Book of Saw, Pilates doesn't even exist. I just had to make that joke. I was thinking about that in the theater.
I
Again,
watched that recently. That's the only reason I get that joke.
Listen, I'm going to say this right now, too, because everything about the whole it should have been Stu and everything like that, here's my conflicted opinion about that, is that the actual reveal is so lame and so just, I'm not about it. I'm like, you know what? I'd rather have just taken Stu, even though I feel like I still wouldn't have even been happy about it, too, because I just can't grasp the idea that Stu was alive the whole time. I just could not. And also, I mean, this is just me. I just could not get into the idea that maybe he's alive. Like, get off that phone and show up, and then we'll talk, actually. The fact that it was always...
We've seen Michael do that, though.
Michael Myers, wait, what were we talking about? Wait, no,
Yeah, we've
what?
seen he should have been dead, but now he's back. It
is a
It's
horror
like...
trope that the killer doesn't die. This way just
Yeah.
goes about it in a more unique way by having it be somebody different all the time. But like they say in the movie, it is always somebody from your past.
You would have probably got me more if if he wasn't always on video call. That's what what's told me, like, nah, this ain't Stu. This isn't Stu, actually. I just feel like the movie itself just didn't do a very good job. I mean, the way I feel, did not do a good job at making me maybe think he was alive. I just wasn't buying it. So that's just me, honestly, though. Returning to the family dynamic, too. I'm gonna be real. I don't like Tatum. I really don't like Tatum. I really don't like Tatum.
She's kind of useless until she's not.
I thought she was useless most of the time, and she was irritating me at the same time. And, okay, look, Sydney, you really should open up to your daughter about what you've been through, although I get it. So, like, that on that front, yes. But, Tatum, don't give your mama shit for not letting you be a part of the action or do anything about it. And then when you're part of the action, you fumble. You just fumble. Like, I was literally thinking to myself, kill her. Just kill her already. She won't be missed. At least by me, at least.
Mom was right.
Yeah. Like, you definitely not know Sidney Prescott. And, like, look, opening up to people around you about your trauma, like, okay, that's one thing. Like, I get that. But at the same time, though, she's been through this about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Now, going on 6 now, actually. I'm like, she knows what she's talking about. Maybe you shouldn't be around all this, especially when you are a target. Seriously. Like, don't go breaking curfew to try to do some shit, and then you pretty much don't do shit, actually. Like, that got on my nerves, for me, at least.
I mean,
can I add in a side note?
Sure, go ahead.
I want to say that I felt like there were, like, a couple visual moments, especially, like, when the first attack happened, and how he was an absolute dick to Tatum, was the theater teacher. I think there could have been, and I think they were prepping for there to be maybe more something with him that they never followed through with. I don't know. I feel like there was a couple scenes where they, like, made sure to specifically show him, and I was like, okay. Obviously, it's probably just trying to mislead you who you think it might be.
Correct.
But it's also like, I almost wish there was something more with him.
I mean, he would have made more sense. He would have made more sense because he actually has a connection. So,
yep, I would have been less mad about that too. I thought about that too, Morgan, and I was like, okay,
he already was then, like, you know, instigating Tatum, like, well, you know, I thought you'd be better than this. You're Sydney's daughter. You're, like, kind of already getting prepped to kill her and shit. Like, I don't know. Like, I think he would have actually somehow been more interesting than what we got.
I just want to put this out there because, Morgan, you made a note that your theater experience wasn't that great, and I'm sorry. I am sorry about that. Mine was awesome. The people in my theater totally understood the assignment. We all
I'm
had a
so
great
happy
time.
for you.
Those people that were trash talking that fucking teacher for being that rude, it was hilarious.
I will say, I leaned over to my husband because I actually did have a very bad, not only theater experience, like seeing the movies, but my last 2 years of theater in high school, I got a new teacher and she was literally the definition of hell. And I literally was like, if she even remotely tried doing something like that to me, I would have clocked her. I would have been suspended. Like, good old goody two shoes Morgan, who would not have ever done something, would have gotten suspended if she said something like that to me. Like, oof.
I was thinking to myself, like, why are all theaters such dicks? What the fuck?
Not all of them are.
What fucking play are you doing? First of
I
all,
don't
what
know.
even is that?
I don't know, but I tell you what,
What?
I know you think that the actual like with the bar tap and everything scene was one of the best kills. It is, I think, my
It is the best
second
kill.
favorite for me
It
personally.
is
I
the
I
best
do
kill. What's
like
your
it.
favorite kill? And I'm going to tell you why you're wrong.
Well,
Hold on, let Morgan go
shut the
first.
fuck up. You've already interrupted me enough, sir. No, I'm just teasing.
It's going to happen more.
I'm gonna become his Ghostface. I'm gonna come murder him because I know him. Anyway,
I didn't hear anything.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. For being honest here, let's.
just like the people in my theater, thank the gods that I have the patience I do. Anyway, no, I'm teasing you. No. Anyway, sorry. I really like the bar killing scene. Don't get me wrong. I love it. Absolutely love it. Especially with the tap going and the beer coming at that cracked me up so much. I visually loved the visual of the girl who was in the harness actually like strung up. I like that was my favorite kill because of the visual of it. Not because of like how she was killed, but just I really liked that scene, her swinging there, like even Sydney's movement of like immediately turning Tatum so she didn't see her. Like just all of that like kind of bit. I loved that part because it kind of showed mom trying to shelter daughter from it, and I also just liked watching the innards.
That is the second funniest kill in the movie.
Hmm.
That shit had me dying.
You and I are just like
also,
flipped. That's all.
I wanted that honestly. I wanted that to be my favorite because the way that they show it in the trailer makes it look way more brutal than it was. So yeah, I wanted to enjoy that a lot more than I did. I'll be honest, but it
See,
didn't
I'm
make me
gonna be
laugh.
honest. I don't think I watched a single trailer for Scream 7.
That shit had me
I
laughing.
low-key, I think I only watched them once just for this sake, and I didn't have much to say about them. And also, I
only
want to say
watched
this.
them.
I think the funniest kill was the third Ghostface. That in hindsight, that made me laugh.
Oh, the mom?
No, when the crazy dude
Oh,
got hit by the car
Carl?
with Yell. Yeah,
Oh,
Carl.
Forgot about Carl.
Yeah, we forgot. Yeah, there's a third Ghostface. Who cares about him though?
Carl low-key was a fucking animal in that house, though.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah,
was.
I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
Thank God he got hit by the car. That was the one you had to worry about.
Yeah, that's true. That is actually true. I do see why husband has problem fighting that one, but still, you suck.
Yeah, but I mean, and then he should have died. But
yeah, probably so. And I still wish Tatum was dead. Goddamn.
I don't disagree.
You all that goddamn complaining, and then you can't even titty up and do the job. Goddamn it.
But that's what I'm starting. That is what I don't like the most about the recent 3 movies is the fact that if you're a main character, you're not gonna die. Like you don't. It doesn't matter.
Plot armor.
100%, or just I don't know, test audience for like you can't die. Because at this point, Mark Evans, Joel McHale's character, is like a de facto Dewey, because that dude gets fucked up, and he's like, I'm just gonna walk it off later, and when he shows up in 8, he'll be fine. So I mean, I don't necessarily need that though. I understand that you have the tropes for this stuff, and since this movie went out of its way to just be a whatever thing, and follow no tropes, no set storylines, and just literally do pretty much whatever the fuck it wanted. Like I don't understand why it went out of its way to do that. Along with the Meeks twins too. I already knew they weren't gonna die, but like, damn, stop stabbing them. Like just let them walk away. I already know they're not gonna die.
What was
those are some of the things that upset me. The story obviously isn't that great. The fact that nobody of substance dies isn't great. Shit, the AI thing is really dumb. The movie tells me that the thing that I wanted is stupid. That I didn't like. But I mean, it still pulls out some pretty impressive Ghostface stuff, and fucking Neve Campbell's back, and they handle that shit good enough. Considering that this feels like a filler episode to me, I'm gonna be honest, especially since this made money, and we're gonna get an 8. Yeah, this just feels like this weird little chapter, and then we'll return to our regular scheduled programming in the next one.
Do you think we will have Sydney in the next one?
Yeah, I think you'll have all 3 of them. I think you're gonna have all 3. That's where you have to go now if you're gonna do it. It's gonna be Sid. It's gonna be Sam. It's gonna be.
They kept making sure at the end there to like, bring the Scream Queens, and they kept saying not just Scream Queen, They kept saying it plural. So I do agree with you.
I mean,
I'm only watching 8 if Jenna and Melissa come back. That's my deal. I'm
they
just saying right now.
also have a Stumacher in their back pocket. I don't necessarily think this movie definitively closed the lid on like he can't come back.
No,
I'm just
leave it.
listen. I'm just saying.
I also
You
agree with
have
that,
to
Luke.
you have to come up with an actual threat for these characters. These three were just not right. They had the setup to me for a threat with it possibly being Stu. Then they fucking decided not to. So what are you gonna do? Because there's gonna be another one. What are you gonna do? Who's it gonna be? I think it's gotta be something pretty fucking big and pretty significant. That to me is exactly what that is. And then I would stop. 8's gotta be it. Has to be. Wrap it up. If Sam's gonna be the killer, just do it. Just start with that. But you need 8 that you're most definitely gonna make. Just stop it, please.
If Sam's killer, fine, makes sense. If they bring Stu back, I'm pissed. I really am.
I love Matthew
I'm,
Lillard. I would never be pissed.
I
Dude, I know it was phone calls and shit, and I'm pissed that it was AI because I was like, man, he's killing it. He's doing this is what I wanted from this character. This is awesome. And then they were like,
nope.
I mean, luckily he's actually acting it though.
Yeah, see, you're not wrong there, but it hurts because it's not really you. That's also kind of like what pisses me off about that too.
Right.
So, and also, I just want to say this too. When it comes to like bringing back OG Killer with some AI, either de-aging or deep fake, whatever, I'm just gonna say right now, Skeet did it better. I like what they did with Billy Loomis more. I'll be honest.
Because it ended up actually being AI, I will agree with you. If it would have actually been Stu, this would have been better.
If it was actually still like me, I don't even know how I feel this. Okay, because I just can't fathom the idea he's alive this whole time.
I can get on board, just for argument's sake, I can get on board with Skeet and what they're doing, but how the fuck does Sam know what Billy looks like? She's never seen him. I mean, I guess Google, maybe.
Yeah, I would say the pictures. He's famous. He's literally famous. There are 8 in-universe movies about him.
But then to that point, when Sydney says, like, there's 6 movies about my life, like, yeah, Tatum, what are you bitching about? You don't know. Read the book. Fucking, you've probably seen the movies. You know exactly what's going on.
I would at least admit that maybe actually coming from the source's mouth rather than maybe the fictionalized, maybe more dramatized stuff would probably, hurt better.
100%.
Okay, so here's another thing I wanted to bring up too, because if they talked about, well, I don't even know how to do this anymore, but I'm gonna say this right now too. When it comes to Scream 6 and now 7 too, they both have kind of tiptoed around an idea of the whole legacy of Ghostface and stuff like that, because Scream 6 did this whole thing where each murder belonged to a previous murder. It was like Richie and Amber, then it was whoever in 4, Roman, Mickey, and then of course Billy and Stu and stuff like that. They did this whole almost like countdown thing with, the past of Ghostface. And then this movie starts with a Ghostface deciding to burn down Stu's house. And here's what I'll say. See, this is why the whole Stu thing is such a mixed bag at the moment now, because everything we've talked about has me on some new feelings, but like, I don't want it, but it would have been better than what we got. But I think it does set up this idea of, if they're going to do a final thing, I want Scream ideally to do something better with this whole legacy thing of Ghostface actually and stuff like that. Maybe someone who wants to officially destroy the legacy of everything like that. Something like that. I don't even know. And go after everyone, and I mean everyone who survived. Like, no, we're ending this now. Anyone who's been associated with this, I'm killing you. Any location, like burn Stu's house down, burn Sydney's house down, burn the damn college down, the movie studio, the place where Richie had his shrine, like all that kind of stuff. I think that's kind of the go big I would have wanted maybe for Scream. I don't know how they're going to do that now. So whatever they do for 8, I don't fucking know.
That is 100% what I would do for 8. Without
a
doubt. That is what
I low-key want to brainstorm like a movie plot and send it to Hollywood. Like, hey, Hollywood, here, do this and then stop.
Yeah, no, facts. Because that's like the natural progression. If you're going to do another one, you're going to do another one. But after this, and then obviously this made the monies, right? So now you have a bigger budget for 8. So now you can give Melissa and Jenna the dump trucks as well. All right, here we go.
I do have a question though too, because this was actually a comparison I was bringing up to the Halloween movies actually too,
Mhm.
and I only thought about it too because I was thinking to myself, Nave. I mean, of course, they're bringing her to dump trucks, but like at a point, let that woman rest. Let leave Sydney alone. God damn it. And you would think, like, a lot of people come back and stuff. I mean, hell, Jamie Lee's come back for Halloween multiple times too. The only leeway I give there is that they've done different timelines. So it's like, okay, like they are erasing certain stuff. I mean, sure, the actress is coming back, but it's not like Laurie's been through this many Halloweens and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But then I started thinking about a whole lot of other stuff, like comparison and everything. And Sydney in this movie is distancing the trauma and the danger and stuff like that from Tatum. Meanwhile, Lori, like, hardcore prepared her kid, which unfortunately didn't work and stuff like that, which, led to still more strain. I just wonder, what do you guys think would have been the better move for Sydney? Like, to still keep Tatum away from it or go the 2018 Laurie Strode route? Because I feel like either way, Tatum's still going to be a moody bitch. Oh my God, you're so overprotective.
You want to
Or,
go first?
like, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, pretty much like I like what the movie did until Sydney decided to double down. Like you're being attacked. This is happening
Yeah.
again. You have a child that is grossly underprepared, and you have both of you have all the skills to prepare. The fact that they hadn't done it already, I guess I get. Like they're living in suburbia, they think it's over, yada yada. But as soon as shit hits the fan, like even if Sydney's like, no, I don't want you to. Here's a gun. Here's how you use it. I'm a police officer. You keep this. You stay strapped at all times. And if you see anybody with a fucking mask on, shoot.
I feel like that's
Because
something
at that
even
point,
like Mark, her father could have done. It didn't
that's what I'm
necessarily have
saying.
to be Sydney. Yeah,
That
for
is what I'm
sure.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact that both of them were kind of complacent when they know shit is not only going down but about to probably get worse. Yeah, that's just bad parenting.
At a point, yeah.
But that's where I'm at. Not the whole Laurie Strode route, but at that moment, especially when Tatum's like, I don't want to be a victim. All right, great, come with me. We're gonna take care of this right now.
So here's one thing also I'll be nice about the movie too is that that middle to end chunk, like how things just keeps going, no breaks, like no, there's no more next day and stuff like that. Like from the point of movie studio and the bar to the end, like it's going, we're going. Like this is the final conflict from the middle to the end of the movie. I don't mind that actually. I liked how that was paced.
I did enjoy the pacing. Thank you. I'm glad you brought that up. This
I
movie does
agree.
have great pacing. It gets to the point, it gets to it fast, and it keeps moving. And I think the movie still clocks in at around 2 hours, but I didn't feel like it. I thought it was pretty fucking quick.
Yeah, you ain't wrong. I thought the same thing actually.
God, I could not end sooner. But that's only because of the theater I was in, not because of the movie. It's actually just under 2 hours. It's an hour and 54.
Yeah, I like it. Nice brisk pace. Once we take off, we just go.
Yeah. It did have good pacing. I just wasn't happy with like we've said many times already, like the absolute like ixnaying of Stu and the actual killers that we got at the end of it all.
Yeah, it turned into the wrong kind of nostalgia bait. We've seen it in movies before. This
Yep.
is an example of how you do it wrong. And that sucked because God, this is something that they themselves have been teasing for at least 2 films. That Stu might still be alive. And the fact that Matthew Lillard has been like, yeah, I'll come back. And then they get him back. And then he just stands in front of the green screen the whole time? What the fuck are we doing? So by the time the movie is over, yeah, it was a fucking waste. And then they added in the other weird little nostalgia things that just also don't work. So yeah, this movie is a bad use of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Very bad, and the killers have no connection to it as well. That's what also pisses me off. There's just no point.
But it got
And
the
Luke,
boobies in the seats though.
we're at whatever at this point. And Luke, I'll just say this too, because you say you like it because it's bad. I understand that. I think the reason I can't get that behind that mindset for me personally is because I genuinely do like Scream. So when I just see a movie that's like, what the hell, y'all fumbling here, it just makes me more mad when y'all could have done better.
Nah, hey, and I came at this in a totally different perspective than you guys have. Like you guys are like, we figured Stu was out. I thought he was in until the very end because they go out of their way to have a dude be like, I mean, it makes sense by the time the movie's over, but he's like, yeah, I've seen that dude before, right? You've got the kid that looks very Stu Macher-ish. Like, I can definitely have this add up to where Stu is alive in this fucking universe. And
I wanted him to be alive. I wanted all that to add up.
Yeah,
And then
when
they
it
shot
doesn't,
themselves in the foot.
it does derail the movie. But I'm not going to pretend like I didn't have a good time up until that point because I did.
Fair enough.
So
I
yeah,
will
we
say
can
if
score it
if
now.
they
My
try to do
score
that
will
shit again, I'm gonna be even more mad. It's like
now.
that course correction shit. Like, god damn it, people.
Well, and okay, and also to be fair, as we've said before, this was not the original plan. So the fact that the movie is even this good, like, all right, I give it to you because this wasn't the plan. They made this up on the fly, and they
Good.
threw money at everybody.
I'm sorry. We say good.
I said after I said that.
All right. All righty then.
My score will reflect.
Shall we get
Yeah,
into
I'm gonna
scoring?
go. Yeah, let's do it.
Actually,
Let's score
real
this
quick, before
motherfucker.
we do, we did have a guy named Justin on our YouTube. They did ask, do you guys think that 7 was better than 5 and 6? My opinion,
No.
no. I enjoyed, especially like 6. I enjoyed 5 and 6 more personally. I could have enjoyed 7 better, like really well, if they didn't change things.
I'm gonna wait to watch it again. It's not better than 5. It's not better than 5. But I'm gonna reserve until I see it again and watch it with 6 because I do have my issues with 6. 6 is very cartoony in certain spots. I mentioned the whoosh sound all the time. It's in there. It is in there.
In there. It is.
I will take a whoosh sound over this damn movie.
So I'm gonna reserve that judgment for right now because I had a good time. I had a good time with it.
Did you
Did
want
I
to
have
start
as
with
good
the?
a time as with 6?
Sorry.
Oh wait.
I
It's
just
not
want to say
better than
real
5.
quick too that I think 6 is underrated. I really do. I actually
I
really
don't
like 6.
disagree.
I had a
I
good
don't
time with
disagree.
6. I had a good time
And
with
6
it.
does have my favorite Ghostface. That's other than the original. 6's Ghostface, along with that decayed mask design, goes so hard. Okay, now we'll score this motherfucker.
Did you want to go first, Reddit?
Sure. Initially, I was gonna give it a bit of a point above Return to Silent Hill, which I give a 5. But the fact that I like Scream and this movie just pisses me off now. Nope, I can't be that nice to you. I dislike it for like other reasons and stuff like that. So this movie's a 5 for me.
Okay. Did you want to
I
go
go
next?
next.
Do you want me to?
I'll go next. I'm giving it a 6. And it's strictly off the backs of the performances by Nev and Joel, and God, I can't think of the actress's name that plays Tatum, but it's based off of that dynamic and the actual Ghostface stuff that happens. Everything else around it, it's not very good.
So, I'm going to be honest with you, Luke. I think I would have been a 6. However, I am, like I said, even in our chat, like, you enjoyed it, Red hated it. I'm kind of middle ground. I'm kind of just meh about it. I'm a 5.5, so I'm right in between both of you. I do think, however, it would have been a 6. I will admit, I do think my rating for the film itself is partially hurt because of the really, I mean, I cannot express to you guys how bad my theater experience was. A lot of the times I feel like it was really hard for me to even focus on the film. So I want to give like that announcement, like my 5.5 is a 5.5 because there was other influences in the theater that caused me to be able to feel very disconnected from the movie. So I could very well rewatch this and maybe feel a little better and give it a 6. But where it currently stands, like it it is a 5.5, and I think in part because of the people around me. I'm gonna take this moment real quick though, just because I have our platform. Stop being fucking assholes in the theater. Like, put your phone away. And if you have the stupid iPhone flashy thing, put it in your goddamn pocket or toggle it off because you can do that in case you don't know. And don't sit there and chit chat like it like this is social hour. That's so rude and inconsiderate to all the people around you. And it wasn't just the people right next to me, it was the people in front of me who was also doing it. You could tell I think they maybe got bored by the second half of the movie. I kind of don't blame them, especially after that killer reveal. But I could go on and I'm not going to just rant and rave like just rant about people being dicks. But there's a time and a place in the movie theaters and the place to like hang out, chit chat, everything else. And also, can you be aware of your spatial awareness? My guy next to me was like legs up because we had the recliner, pushing his leg into my drink where I couldn't pull out my drink. And that's really fucking rude and inconsiderate of the people next to you. Like,
Morgan, allow me to say it for you,
no,
okay?
I'm not. No, 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 no.
Okay.
Don't. I don't think that
want
needs to be broadcasted.
Okay, fine. I'll just say a nicer version. Black people, do better.
Dreaded.
It needs to be said.
But you know what? I've been around white assholes. So this is a message to everybody. They just happened to be okay. Like, I will say though, my rating is affected because I had an awful experience that pulled me out of the enjoyability of even watching a film.
I hope you get a better experience. But I will again reiterate, everything that you guys said is 100% true. The movie's not good, but I had fun with it not being good.
I feel like Scream's just something I hold on to a bit of a higher plateau. So when it's going to be bad, it's just going to hurt more. If I don't know, it's not like Final Destination for me at this point. Honestly, it should. Can we say that maybe Scream's becoming like Final Destination in its somewhat goofiness in areas?
This?
Like Scream in general now. Consider how long it's been going on.
I mean, I like.
Well, I saw something where they made the point to where especially this one, it's just another like generic like slasher film that they go out of their way to do meta commentary on and sort of poke fun at. Now it is a parody of itself, which I don't disagree with. But I mean, like, what else are you gonna do? That's why the stew thing sucks, because you only have so many bullets in the chamber that you can pull from for something like that. And if you are in an idea drought, then you really need to land this, and they didn't. So I'm hoping with 8, maybe you can still fulfill that promise if you want. Otherwise, what are you gonna do? What else are you gonna do?
I don't know at this point. I would have just said leave this frame, just leave it alone now. I think y'all have gone on a little long now.
It made too much money though. We know that's not happening.
Thanks a lot, studios. And thanks a lot, fandom. Why y'all go see this damn movie?
I need Deadpool to look at Nev Campbell and go, till you're 90.
Yeah, at this point, probably. Shit.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us and listening to our review of Scream 7. Let us know in the chats, in the comments over on YouTube. Did you like the movie? Did you see it? Let us know your thoughts. Also, if you're over on YouTube, give a like to that YouTube video so we know you enjoyed today's episode. But yeah, guys, if you're not already subscribed to us on YouTube, please head on over there and give us a subscription, because we are working on vamping some stuff up over there and bringing some maybe bite-sized stuff to y'all. And yeah, we're upping our production, which we're excited about. But if you're not here on Twitch, get over here and follow us on Twitch, because we usually get quite a bit of chatters over here. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. We are the Wannabes Podcast. I'm Morgan, that's Luke, and that is Dreaded. And you can catch us on all of our social medias. We're on Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, LinkedIn. It goes on from there. Follow us, so that way you know when we're going live, what we're going to be reviewing. We do go live every Wednesday, but sometimes that changes and life happens, and we once in a blue moon will have to reschedule. So follow us there. That way you know what we're doing. Next week, we can let you know now, we will be reviewing The Bride. So if you want to see it and talk about it with us in chat, go see it, and you can live chat with us and give us your own thoughts. But yeah,
which you should do.
Yeah. Until next time, everybody, have a wonderful time. Have fun. Don't die. All the stuff. And yeah, next time, don't forget the popcorn. All right. See ya.
If you forget the popcorn, I'm gonna buy you a copy of Scream 7.